In 1996, Ford debuted the 97 model year Expedition, which represented the largest three-row SUV in the model lineup. Almost 30 years later, and we're now in the 5th generation of the Ford Expedition. The vehicle in front of you is just that. The new Expedition is just now starting to hit dealer lots everywhere, and there's a whole host of changes, both feature and tech-wise, in the 25 Expedition that makes it far superior to the outgoing 24. In this video, I'm going to be going over many of the product changes to the 25 and explain why it's such a huge deal that this Expedition's coming out now. Okay, so before I talk about the changes in the 25, I want to talk about some of the things that are still the same. The Expedition is still available in two different wheelbases, both a short wheelbase and what they call the Expedition Max. The Max adds a little bit of additional space behind the third row seat. It is a longer wheelbase inherently, so a little bit more difficult to park, but if you use the third row on a frequent basis, the extra storage is a welcome thing to have. Another similarity between the two, they use the same powertrains that they used on the outgoing Expedition. The 3.5 EcoBoost makes a return for 25, although you can have it one of two ways. They have what's called the high output version of the 3.5, which adds a little bit more horsepower and torque. That can be found in three different packages. The Platinum with the Stealth Performance package, the Tremor Off-Road package, and the one you see behind me here, the Platinum equipped with the Platinum Ultimate package. Speaking of the Platinum Ultimate package, that is all new for 2025. While the Platinum trim has been available on the previous generations of Expedition, the Platinum Ultimate represents the top level for the 25 model year. It is a $13,500 option from the factory on top of the Platinum trim in both the short wheelbase or the Max like this one here. One of the easiest ways you can tell an Ultimate from a regular Platinum apart in person is if it's equipped with the 24-inch alloy wheels. That's right, 24-inch alloy wheels. The previous model year had 22s as the biggest size available, but here in 25, you can now get a 24-inch rim on a brand new Expedition, and it doesn't look out of place. Even though they're gargantuan rims, the vehicle is so large that it actually fits the aesthetic very nicely. Up front on the 25 Expedition, you can see it has a more squared off front end, and much like a lot of the other Ford products, it uses a interlocking headlight and grille design. On some of the higher trim levels, like this Platinum Ultimate, you'll see that it does have a running lamp that goes across the whole length of the grille and looks very, very nice. And here on the back side, you can see another key feature that's standard on all 25s, the split liftgate. Now, no matter what color you get on the 25 Expedition, the upper portion of the liftgate will always be finished in this black. To me, it's kind of a miss, but I will say it definitely does stand out a little bit more on the road when you're approaching the car from behind. Now, as far as the functionality of the split liftgate, it works similar to how the previous power-operated Expedition liftgate works. You just press the rubber button on the back side. Unlike the previous, the upper will open first, and then new for 25 is this lower portion, which stays in place until you press the power release. When it comes to the cargo area on the 25 Expedition, you'll find the theme is practicality and convenience. On the underside of the floor, you have some hidden storage, and on the right side here, you have a lot of different options to charge devices or accessories. On the side panel, you'll have these fold-down grocery bag hooks, both sides. And then on the left here, much like the 24 Expedition, you do have the power fold third row and second row seats. One new addition to the cargo area on the 25 is the zone lighting. There's a button on the back side here that you can press to turn on two lights that are on the underside of the lift gate itself. There is also zone lighting on the entire exterior of the truck. There is a lamp built in the roof rail. There's lamps built in the grille and the mirrors that will light up the whole area around the Expedition. Those can be turned on via a feature in the screen itself. Now, some of the biggest changes on the 25 Expedition actually happen here on the inside. And starting in the driver's seat, where you're greeted with a steering wheel shape we're not familiar with in pretty much any car. It's more square than it is circular, and that's to make visibility clear for this 24-inch upper panoramic screen. Now, that's not the only screen you get in the 25 Expedition. You also get a 13.4-inch center screen running Ford's digital experience, their Google-derived software that they've shown us off in the 25 Explorer. Now, that's capable for wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. Now, the upper screen, while not a touchscreen, is very configurable. It's going to hold multiple pieces of information and allow you to really not take your attention too far off the road to see the pieces of info that you need. Another really unique feature on the 25 Expedition is the power sliding center console. To activate, press this button on the left side in the center, and it reveals a hidden storage compartment which is generously sized. What would otherwise be wasted space is utilized in a really unique way and is a really cool feature. Now, we can't talk about the Ford Expedition without talking about the space for the rear passengers. Most people purchasing an Expedition are looking to carry their family or friends in comfort, and the same is true here in the 25. Tons of space in the second row, and the Expedition is still available in two different seating configurations. You can still get a second row bench seat or captain's chairs equipped just like the one here. Now, one of the new features are the USBs that are built into the backside of the seats. Now, there is a feature this particular one does not have. It's called the digital device holder, which makes the USBs that much more useful. You can essentially take your iPad or your iPhone and mount it to the seat back without adding any accessories. Straight from the factory, makes it really easy. So there you have it. A whole lot of product changes on the 25 Expedition that make it far superior to the outgoing 24. I mentioned earlier that it was very important this truck came out now. And the reason I mentioned that is, well, the segment in North America for full-size three-row SUVs is very competitive. And with General Motors just redesigning the Suburban and Tahoe, the Expedition was due for a refresh. And with the tech that this new 25 model has, I know once we start seeing inventory on these, they're going to be incredibly popular.